What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating, and if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out, but in it, I talk about most feared, and specifically the sets, the challenges, and how I can use all of this to make coins. So for today's video, we are back with episode number 2 of rebuilding this Atlanta Falcons team. Now, if you missed episode number 1, go click on the card in the top right-hand corner. It'll take you right to that, and you want to view that simply because it makes chronological sense, and then you can come back over to this video and check out episode number 2. But we are giving ourselves the tall task of rebuilding this Atlanta Falcons team. We are now in year 2, and this is really where the rebuild is going to take shape. Let's go ahead and go through the offense and the defense. Starting on the offense, so we're highlighting Matt Ryan here. He is still going to be our QB number 1 going into this season. However, number 1 draft pick for us, Justin Fields, is lying in wait. I'm going to see how the season goes. I'm going to see how we're performing. If I see an opportunity to get Justin Fields into the game as our starting quarterback, I may just do that. So we're going to have to see how this year progresses. But we are rocking with Chuba Hubbard at running back. Darius Geis is going to be our backup. Even though he is a higher overall, Chuba Hubbard does have star or better development, so I want to get him as much playing time as possible. Our wide receiver core, we ought to throw for about 6,000 yards. We ought to have 4 to maybe 5 guys to have 1,000 yards receiving. Now, that's not going to happen. But needless to say, we've got talent all across the skill positions. Julio Jones is still our wide receiver 1. Calvin Ridley, though, is waiting to take over. He's our wide receiver number 2. Russell Gage, as you can see, has star development. He's in the slot right now. But we also couldn't pass up taking Jalen Waddle in the second round, right? So he's our wide receiver number 4 right now. Depending on how this season goes, if we're not competitive, I love the guy. He's a Hall of Fame first ballot wide receiver. He's probably the best wide receiver that the Atlanta Falcons have ever had. We might need to look to move on from him and acquire some more draft picks for the 2022 offseason, right? So we're just going to have to play that by ear. Let's go ahead and take a look, though, at the offensive line and the tight end position. Hayden Hurst, superstar X Factor. Couldn't believe he got that in the offseason, but we now have 2 superstar X Factors on offense. And then the O-line, we're going to look to hopefully get some progression, some development trait upgrades for this team. This O-line is solid. Now, they've got some low overall players, but if Trey Smith takes the development, he is a rookie right now. If Matt Hennessy develops as our starting center, Chris Lindstrom, if we can get him to progress fast at the right guard position, if Caleb McGarry can get a development trait upgrade. Jake Matthews, he is only a 79 overall, but he for the most part does hold down that left tackle position. If we can get this O-line to play a little better than what they're playing right now and develop a little bit faster, I mean, this offense, it's only a 77 overall as far as their overall rating, but man, it could take the next step, right? So I'm excited about the offense. I might be even more excited about this side of the ball. I was actually excited about our defense coming into this year, and they have just completely wet the bed. They looked good the last 3 weeks, just got a big win over the Carolina Panthers where we were blitzing Teddy Bridgewater nonstop, and it was working out, right? And that's all a tribute to these fast linebackers that we've got. Superstar development for Deion Jones. We've got star development for Foye Oluokun and Michael Walker. This is one of the fastest linebacking cores in the NFL, and I couldn't be more excited to watch and see how they progress this year. Let's come down to the defensive line where we do have some pieces to work with as well, right? We've got everybody once Joseph Osai ends up getting his development trait, and we know what that's going to be. Everybody on the defensive line has star development, a star or better development. Gray Jarrett obviously holding that DT number 1 spot. We moved Joseph Osai, who we did draft in the 2021 draft, from left outside linebacker to right in. We do play a 4-3, and it just made most sense to use him at that position. Dante Fowler, this dude has got to step up. He has got to play better, not only in real life, but we need him to play better in Madden as well. He's been good in the run. We need him to start to pressure the quarterback so we don't have to blitz as much, right? And then Marlon Davidson, really looking for him to take the next step in his second season. Now let's come to the safeties and the cornerbacks. So we've got Paris Ford here, starting at free safety. He's got star or better development, which is really good. Keanu Neal is our superstar strong safety. Down the road, if you looked at the stats from Deion Jones, Foye Oluokun, and Keanu Neal, these dudes led our team last year when it comes to tackles, sacks, just impact making plays. So Keanu Neal is going to need to continue to take that next step, and I think he's going to be a solid, strong safety for us this season and down the road. Caleb Farley is now our starting left cornerback, or our CB number 1. We're going to start Kendall Sheffield as our CB number 2 and have AJ Terrell play the slot and just kind of see how that goes. We may look to put AJ Terrell on the outside and have Kendall Sheffield slide in the slot, but I really like Kendall Sheffield. He's had some up and down moments this year, right? I also really like AJ Terrell. I hope they can kind of get a development trait upgrade in this season here, and then we can at least see one of them at least have star or better development. That would be pretty solid. So, and then of course we've got our backups, as you guys can see across the board. Special teams, not going to talk too much on this. Sterling Hoffrichter, Elliott Fry. We moved on from Younghoe Koo for the simple fact that Elliott Fry got the third best kicker award. I mean, there's not an award, but he finished third in the best kicker award, and the dude was on my practice squad. I don't even know how that happened. Madden decides to do some wild stuff from time to time, but Elliott Fry is going to be our starting kicker. Jalen Waddle is going to be our kick and punt returner. Here's some specialists. And then here's our practice squad. Oops, I went too fast. Now, we'll go back so you can see the practice squad. So here's the practice squad. Couldn't tell you for the majority of who these players are, but that's the practice squad, right? Okay, so what are we going to look to do here? Well, I plan on this episode being one season, just like every episode is going to be one full season. We'll go through this year, we'll go through free agency, and then we'll go through the draft, right? So I'm going to sim most likely 4 weeks at a time. Then we'll just kind of pause. We'll see where we're at, see if we have any development trait upgrade opportunities, in which case then we'll jump in, try to see if we can get that. And then we'll just kind of assess, every 4 weeks where we're at, and then see if we need to make any roster changes. So having said that, I'll see you guys after our Week 4 game against the New England Patriots. Okay, so 4 games in, we are somehow 4-0. I'm going to go over here to our schedule. I'm going to show you I'm not forced winning these, right? You might think with us being 4-0 with a 77 overall or whatever it is team, we're forced winning. No. We beat the 49ers. We beat the Saints. We killed the Lions. And then we pretty much dominated the Patriots as well. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, force win, none, right? So we have done this legit. Now, this could just be setting up for a complete collapse later on in the season. Who knows? But we're 4-0, right? Now, I accidentally clicked on it before I started recording again, but Julio Jones was frustrated after Week 3. I don't know why. Apparently, we're not getting him involved in the game plan. So, we didn't, unfortunately, get him 5 touches or 100 yards in the Patriots game, so he got minus 20 overall for his morale, which is not good, but with us being 4-0 right now, there's no way we're going to be moving on from him, right? So we got 4 players that are ready to negotiate their contracts. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this just yet. I might wait and do this a little bit later on in the season. Got to bring Calvin Ridley back. Hayden Hurst, while he has Superstar X Factor, he's only an 81 overall, and he's already 28 years old. He's going to want a lot. I don't know if we're going to be able to pay him that. Darius Geis, probably not going to re-sign him. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't negotiate this Foye Oluokun deal. 5 years, $6.3 million. I mean, I really need him back, to be honest with you. We have a decent amount of cap room right now to be able to do this. Is he the priority, though? I know Ridley has got to be the priority, right? We would have 3 solid receivers after we move on from Julio. We're not going to do this Foye Oluokun just yet. It's crazy how much he wants. It's crazy how much that Hayden Hurst doesn't want too much over 4 years, but still. So we're going to have to make some decisions. We also need to sign Russell Gage. We can start negotiating with him in Week 7. The other guys, hopefully they're not going to be too expensive. We're going to need to bring some back for depth purposes. But nonetheless, let's come over here and scout some players. So I think we're going to need some O-line help. We are going to need potentially some corner help and then some defensive line help, some edge rushing help. So we've already kind of scouted out a few players. Moses Best right here with A- hit power, A- tackle, A- power of moves as his top 3 skills. Could be a solid pick if he's still around whenever we pick in the first round. And then Cornell Blades here obviously looks pretty good too. Here's some left tackles, right? Sam Byrne, decent, right? Decent. This guy right here looks like he could be solid. Kerry Whiteside, more or less possibly looking like a linebacker as opposed to a down lineman, but you never know. So let's come down and let's go ahead and scout some more. Let's go ahead and scout this Eddie Harvin guy. It's okay, not too great. Daryl Waters here, 6'4", 261. He could potentially slide down on the defensive line. B+ pursuit, B hit power, B- tackle. Probably not, though. Someone that we want to look to take. Adam Kyle, yeah, not so much for the second round, that's for sure. There's that. We did not have any development trait upgrades through the first 4 weeks. Let's go ahead and upgrade some players. We have been upgrading them so far, but good. Caleb Farley has an upgrade. Let's go ahead. Yep, man-to-man. That's what we definitely want to upgrade for him. Go ahead and get those top skills for him as high as they can possibly be. Still at hidden development. Haven't played enough downs. Paris Ford, this is already his second upgrade. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade his zone coverage or his zone traits again, right? Hey, we do get +2 zone. Still hidden for him. Another 100 downs. Keanu Neal getting an upgrade. That's really good. Some other players that have gotten upgrades so far, Jalen Waddle, Russell Gage, our left guard, Trey Davis, I believe is his name, Caleb McGarry, just to kind of name a few. I want to upgrade Keanu Neal's zone some. Good, that does upgrade his overall. That's always kind of nerve-wracking whenever you don't upgrade the scheme fit, or I'm sorry, when you don't upgrade their top trait, right, and you upgrade, say, the scheme fit if it's a lower trait overall. But he does get +2 in the zone coverage, which is really good for him because his zone is not the greatest for a safety, but it's at 86, so that's not terrible. His speed could be better, and we're just going to let the CPU upgrade the rest. So, all right, let's go ahead before we go on for the next 4 weeks. Let's take a look and see where are we at stat-wise so far. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So Matt Ryan, 1,000 passing yards. He's 13th in the NFL. Our defense, wow, 6th in the NFL. That is really good. Chuba Hubbard, not so good so far as rushing yards. We have scored 120 points, which is 3rd. We've only allowed 64 points. Our defense is playing out of their minds right now, which is really, really good to see. I told you I was excited about this. Matt Ryan could not be more efficient. 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. While the passing yardage aren't quite yet isn't there, he really hasn't had to, right? He's been basically game managing, which as towards the tail end of his career, Chuba Hubbard, whew, not good. Darius Geis looking pretty solid, though, so far. That yards per carry for Chuba Hubbard is not looking good at all. Let's take a look at our wide receivers. Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst leading the team in receiving yardage. Julio Jones right behind him. Russell Gage having a solid season so far. Calvin Ridley not exactly lighting it up as far as the yardage goes. Let's take a look at these defensive stats, though. A.J. Terrell, we did move him to outside. I know I said I was going to put him in the slot. He is on the outside right now. Kendall Sheffield is in the slot corner. Deion Jones, 25 tackles, 23 from Keanu Neal. Let's take a look at quarterback sacks. Good. 4.5 from Dante Fowler. 4 games in. He's averaging over 1 sack a game. That's the kind of production that we need from him. That's good to see. Solid start from Joseph Osai. John Kaminsky, as our backup left in, has come in with 2 sacks already. Half for Deion Jones and Foye Oluokun. How are we looking with interceptions here? We getting some turnovers? Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Michael Walker. Solid. Those are the playmakers that we want to see making plays. You'd like to see Foye Oluokun showing up on the stats a little bit more. Let's take a look at our forced fumbles. Have we forced any? We have not forced any fumbles. Okay, kicking. Elliott Fry, best kicker in the league. He's made 13 for 13 extra points, 5 for 6 on field goals. You can't ask for much more than that. Good job, Elliott Fry, making us look like geniuses when it comes to our special teams personnel choices, right? So, okay, cool. So 4 weeks in, 4-0. Couldn't ask for anything better. What are we going to be after the Week 9 game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Has the collapse started? Well, maybe. We went 1-3 in that quarter of the season, so definitely not good, but when you take into account, we'd take 5-3 going through our first 8 games, most definitely. I think this is definitely a win. We've just got to pick up some momentum, and it's got to start against the Bills here. We've got the Bills, then the Washington football team, then at the Panthers, who we did beat, then versus the Cowboys coming up in this next quarter of the season. We need to at least go 3-1 in these games. I feel like that is definitely attainable. We lost 2 against the Buccaneers. That really hurt us. And then the Jets beat us as well. I guess they've come out of the doldrums. They've come out of the dungeon and have started to win some games. But listen, we got to get better. We got to go forward this next quarter of the season. we got to go at least 3-1, and it starts with the Bills, and it starts with Russell Gage here, who has an opportunity to not go from just star. He can go from star to superstar. Let's take a look and see what it's going to need. We're going to hop into this game right here and see if we can get him that superstar development trait. Just wanted to say I appreciate you. Keep throwing it my way. Okay. Get Russell Gage 3 touchdowns or 150 yards rushing and receiving. So we are just going to feed Russell Gage the rock, because if we can get him up to superstar development, that's going to be solid, and it's really going to make us a hard decision on what to do with Julio Jones here. That's for sure. I'm interested to see the stats and what we're looking like in the stat department. Let's go ahead and scout a couple players. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we've already scouted a whole heck of a lot of players. And there's some good talent in here. It looks like a lot of the talent you could possibly get towards the later rounds of the draft. I am not a draft expert by any means when it comes to Madden rebuilds, so this is going to be a good learning experience for all of us. But let's go ahead and we'll scout some more ends here. Not too bad on Carlos Dubos, that's for sure, especially for a third-round talent there. He's actually got a first-round grade or first-round talent, so that's pretty solid. Let's see what Nick Bird's looking like with here. Not too bad there as well. We'll definitely add him to the board. Let's come over to our right ends here. We've got a scheme fit here. No, let's don't continue on that. B+ hit power pursuit. Tackle, not terrible. Fourth-round talent. Let's come over to the linebackers here. Not a strong linebacking class, that's for sure. Now, that's not too bad right there. A fourth-round talent. You can see here, too, Leon Brown. Fourth-round projecting, but a second-round talent. It's pretty solid there. We gotta keep our eyes out for both of those guys. And we only have 11 scouting points left, so let's just kind of save that till the next round. So let's go ahead and upgrade some players. I've had a few players that have gotten upgrades. We're going to go over and actually show you the team, too, because we've got some development traits that have shown themselves. And this guy's one of them. Not going to spoil it right now, but Caleb Farley here does have an upgrade. +2 on the man coverage. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and upgrade Hayden Hurst. And, yeah, we'll upgrade his possession receiver traits. Couple more overalls, and he's going to get another ability, which will be nice. Jalen Waddle, still one of the guys here has not shown his development trait upgrade is Jalen Waddle. Hasn't played enough downs. Obviously, he's the 4th wide receiver with a strong wide receiver group, so he's just not getting out on the field right now. He still has hidden development, as you can see. Our boy Big Cat Bryant, brother, coming in with an upgrade. The big brother with the big upgrade, Big Cat Bryant. We definitely don't want to upgrade his speed rusher trait. Power rusher. My goal for this rebuild series is to get Big Cat Bryant to a 70 overall. Can the cat, Andres Galarraga's son, get to 70 overall? That's going to be one of the storylines here for this rebuild. Okay, so I think all we've got left before we hop into this is coming over and let's take a look at the stats. How are we doing in the stat department? I'm interested to see this. Matt Ryan, how can we bench him right now? He's 6th in the NFL in passing. As long as he's not turning the ball over at a high rate, we're going to keep him in there. Chuba Hubbard is just not getting the job done. That is unfortunate to see. Julio Jones having a good year. The defense is still playing really solid. Up to 6th in the NFL in points allowed. Remember, we were 1st at the quarter mark, but still looking pretty good here. Let's take a look at some of these individual stats. 15 tutties, 3 interceptions. There's no way I can bench him. I mean, Justin Fields has played. He's 0 for 3 right now. I'd love to get him in the game, but I can't bench Matt Ryan right now. I hope that's not controversial. I hope that makes sense. Darius Geis looking like the better running back right now. We might need to go ahead and just put him in and just have him roll and just see what Chuba Hubbard can do as the backup running back. Julio's definitely come on here in the last quarter, the second quarter of the season, up to almost 700 receiving yards. Hayden Hurst still putting in a solid year. Calvin Ridley definitely stepped up. He had 87 receiving yards through the first 4 games. Definitely taking that next step. And Russell Gage, we need to get him to that superstar development trait, that's for sure. 71 tackles from Deion Jones. A.J. Terrell, tackle machine at the cornerback slot. Keanu Neal and Foye Oluokun coming in with 45 apiece. Dante Fowler had a half a sack over the last 4 games. That's not good. Joseph Osai had 1 sack over the last couple games. Steven Means, all right, 2 sacks. We didn't put a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback, and I think we can possibly attribute that as to why we went 1-3 in those games. Not a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and we only got 1 interception. It was another interception by Keanu Neal. That is terrible. That is terrible. No forced fumble. 1 forced fumble. We didn't recover it. Joe Jones, the big bad middle linebacker, who I thought was on our practice squad, forcing a fumble out here. So, all right, I think defensively, we got to step up. We got to make some more plays. We got to make some more turnovers. That's the issue we're running at in real life here now. Is not making plays when we need to make plays, not stopping a team when we need to stop them for that big drive towards the end. Somebody needs to step up and make a play, right? All right, we're gonna jump in. We're going to see if we can get Russell Gage 3 tutties or 150 yards receiving, or both. That'd be nice. And then he could just become Superman out here and have ungodly abilities, right? No, that's not going to happen. But we're going to look to get Russell Gage those 3 touchdowns or that 150 yards receiving. All right, Russell Gage is about 50 yards away from going ahead and getting this X Factor. Nah, not X Factor. Superstar development trait, so he could get it on this possession. I'm going to throw out Chuba Hubbard there. Chuba's actually having a pretty good game. He doesn't have the breakaway speed right now. Maybe that's something that eventually he will get. But I believe I'm perfect with Matt Ryan. I mean, I'm not out here breaking the game with the type of plays that I'm calling. But nonetheless, you know, we're just kind of working our way down the field, taking what the defense gives us, and really just forcing the ball to Russell Gage as best as we possibly can. There's no other way around it, really. Nice. That play, you see the linebackers, they start to back up. Russell's going to be wide open with the slant there. Good levels concept there. Bummer. Yeah, we're gonna run this. And hopefully, I wish that Hayden Hurst route was a little skinnier, but I should have. Oh, no. Yeah, I thought I would have. Well, that's his first incompletion. 18, started the game 18 for 18. Heck of a start. We're up 17-7, which is really good, too. See if we can't hit him on this little bubble screen out here. Yeah, that'll work. Make a juke. Micah Hyde was having none of that. Give me a little stretch alert bubble here. Yeah. Let's go, Ridley. Nice little play there. 20 for 21 for 222. I can't, like, there's no way. There's no way I can bench Matt Ryan for Justin Fields. Like, absolutely no way. What message is that sending to the team, right? Not a good one. Not a good one. I'll tell you that right now. All right. No way the linebacker gets over to play this. And I really hope Mike Hyde doesn't come down to play this. Yeah. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So Russell Gage, he needs 150 yards or 3 touchdowns, right? We made the decision to just go ahead and get in the end zone. I want to win this game. I want to win. We're up 24-7. That's really good. Okay, he is 20 yards away, so most definitely we should get that on this possession. And as soon as we get that, I'm going to go ahead and just super sim the rest of the game. No need to stay in this. I mean, we should win. I wouldn't stay in it even if we were losing, because this isn't, necessarily about me. Oh, no. Oh, I thought that defensive end might get his hand up there. This isn't necessarily about me jumping in playing games, right? He's got to be like, what, maybe 5 yards? 5 yards away from getting this? This little bubble screen is literally just the easiest thing in the world to do to get something like this. All right, we're going to check and see. I think that's probably got it wrapped up for him. And it does. 19 catches for 154 yards. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just super sim the rest of the game. Very, very solid job by the defense. They just gave up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but to only give up 15 points against a Bills offense that is obviously progressing. They're a solid offense. To only give up 15 points against them, that's a really good day. 33-15 is the final. Russell Gage is going to have superstar development. I think I've said this just about 3 or 4 times already in this episode, but it's really making a hard decision as far as what we are going to do with Julio Jones. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. All right, so as you can see, during that quarter of the season, we did go 2-2. We got that W against the Bills. We lost against the Washington football team, a very, very close one, 22-21. We did come back. We swept the Carolina Panthers for this season. That's really good, especially to sweep your division. But then we lost 26-21 to the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys are 10-1, so we played them really close. We know we're a good team. We know we're a solid team. I believe this is a playoff team. We just need to close it out against the Saints, and then we've got 3 away games. Who made this schedule? This is ridiculous. At the Dolphins, at the Giants, at the Eagles. Fortunately, those bottom 2 teams are absolute garbage. Don't at me, but the Giants have a terrible head coach, and the Eagles are starved for talent. I will say they got a lot of injuries, right? I get it, but they suck. Both those teams suck. Hey, don't at me. The Falcons, they suck too, right? But listen, we got to get right on this final quarter of the season. Let's come over now. We're going to look at the roster real quick because I don't remember if I showed some of our rookie players and what their development traits ended up being. I believe everybody should have their development trait upgrade by now. Chuba Hubbard somehow with like -47 yards per carry has superstar development. Let's take a look and see what his ability is. Hopefully it is that he has the ability to levitate to get him past the defense because apparently he can't go anywhere. Balance beam. Avoid stumbling when carrying the ball. All right. I didn't realize stumbling was a thing in Madden 21 right now, but hey, that'll work. Chris Lindstrom's up to a 76 overall. That's pretty good. What ability does Russell Gage have? Let's take a look and see this. Matt Ryan is downgraded. I don't know how he could have any better of a season, but he's downgraded to superstar. Russell Gage has mid and elite. Pretty solid. He's out of the slot, so receivers with this ability catch more consistently while catching passes 10 to 20 yards from the line of scrimmage inside the numbers. That's a pretty solid ability for this player right here. I like that. Nothing else stands out. Trey Smith, while he only has normal development, this dude is solid. He's already gotten, I think, 3 upgrades so far this year. Pretty good. And these are our defense and our not abilities, but the development traits for all of them. Joseph Osai has star. Paris Ford has star. Caleb Farley has superstar. Solid. Could not ask for any better of a draft, I don't feel. His ability is tip drill. Not the best ability for a corner, but he is only a 79 overall, so he's going to get another another trait here, I believe, with 1 more overall. If not, then maybe when he gets to 85, so hopefully that'll be a little bit better there. Let's take a look. We didn't take a look at Jalen Waddle. We got so many good receivers. He still hasn't played enough downs for us to know what his development trait is, so we'll have to see, man. I know I say this I've said this so many times already, but what do we do with Julio Jones, man? I don't know. I'm torn. I want to keep him. We're a playoff team, right? We're playing really well, but gosh, I could definitely get some value for him. So we're looking pretty solid, right? I mean, we're still only a 79 overall. 79 offense has gotten up +2. 81 defense has gone up by +1 or 2 as well, I believe. So we're playing really well. We're not going to scout any players. Nobody knows the players anyway. We're going to take a look more in detail once we actually get to the draft there. But let's go ahead and upgrade Caleb Farley here. He's going to go to an 80 overall. Let's go over, see if he gets another ability. I don't believe he does, but if he does, that'd be great. He does not. He'll get another one at 85 overall. We'll just let the CPU handle the rest of those upgrades there. No real need to go through them. And let's take a look at the stats. So we are at the 3rd quarter of the season, final home stretch. We are 1 game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the NFC South standings. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats here. Matt Ryan is 4th in the NFL in passing. We have the 7th best offense. Don't know what our defense is, but we've given up 47 yards. I don't know why it doesn't tell us. 12th in scoring. Julio's got 888 receiving yards. 5th in scoring allowed. Solid year so far all across the board. I mean, I couldn't be happier with this. 23 tutties for Matt, only 7 picks. Solid year, 3,400 passing yards, almost 3,500. Chuba Hubbard has up his yards per carry from 2.9 to 3.0. He has superstar, so maybe he'll start to take that next step. Darius Geis, I feel like, has been at this same statistic since week 4. Julio, 888 receiving yards. Ridley is starting to step up. That's good. He's not right there in the touchdown department, but he's got 700 yards receiving. A solid year. A solid final quarter is going to get him over 1,000. Russell Gage, 63 catches, almost 700 yards. Once again, solid final quarter. We could have 4 receivers over 1,000 yards. Jalen Waddle has 6 catches for 700 yards. Just forget you even saw that, right? I mean, what are we going to do? We run 4 wide every play? I guess we could. 100 tackles from Dion, 91 from H.A. Terrell, 70 from Foye, 61 from Keanu Neal. One more sack from Dante Fowler. We're just not getting any pressure. I mean, we've got a lot of guys with 3, 2, 2, 1 sack, but we're just not getting the pressure like we need to. Deion's got a pick. We did pick off some more passes over this last quarter of the season. Caleb Farley got his first pick. Kendall Sheffield has a pick. Deion got another pick. Did we force any more fumbles? We did not. Big Bad Joe Jones still has the one forced fumble. What's Big Cat Bryant look like? Is he on the stat sheet at all? Probably would be easier to find him under the tackles. Big Cat Bryant, are you on the stat sheet? Have you done anything? No. He's on the stat sheet, but he doesn't have any stat. I guess they felt sorry for him. He's going to get up to 70 overall, I promise you that. All right. Final quarter of the season. I'll catch up with you once we get done with that Eagles game and find out if we're going to make the playoffs. I think we will. I really do. We finished strong down the stretch. That was the kind of closeout to the season that you would like to see. But first, man, just look at these standings. Tampa Bay, 10-6. Atlanta, 10-6. New Orleans, 10-6. Carolina, 10-6, but it's reversed, 6-10. What a tight race in this division. Let's look at our schedule. Let's go ahead and show you the final quarter of the season. We don't want to see the playoff schedule. We don't need to see all that. Team schedule. Man, I don't care about the preseason. There we go. All right, final quarter of the season. We started off awful, losing to the Saints, 24-35. But then we go on the road and beat the Dolphins, we beat the Giants, and we beat the Eagles. 3 straight W's on the road, and we got to get a 4th because we're going to Tampa Bay in the wild card. Can we do it, man? Let's see. We got some upgrades here. Let's take a look at these upgrades. Grady Jarrett, solid, good going into the playoffs. Let's go ahead and get him up to a stay at the 91 overall. That's not what I wanted, but hey, whatever. Still the best player on the defense. Caleb Farley is going to go up to an 81 overall as we upgrade his man-to-man trait. Russell Gage getting another upgrade. That's about his probably 5th or 6th of this episode. We are going to continue. I hate it when it does that, but that's all right. He's going to go up to an 80 overall now. We upped his, I was going to upgrade his slot abilities, but we clicked on deep threat because I pressed up and it didn't go right away, so... but, man, he's looking good. I'm a big Russell Gage fan. He's up to 90 speed now, which is great. Good stuff there. And Jalen Waddle, do we know what Jalen Waddle is? He still is hidden development. Well, he'll get on the field next year. Maybe he'll see the field in the playoffs. He's up to a 76 overall, which is pretty solid. Julio has an upgrade. He is a 95 overall. Most likely can go up to a 96 overall. Let's upgrade his... He's up to a 97 overall because he's up to +1 with morale. Good. Oh, wow. He gets a +1 speed upgrade as well. Good stuff there. All right, I'm glad we hung on to Julio because we made the playoffs. We have the best team that we could have possibly put together. We went 10-6 in our second year. Man, I could not ask for a better turnaround. I believe we went 5-11 in year number 1, so I couldn't have asked for a better turnaround. 80 overall offense, 81 overall defense for an 80 overall team. That is pretty solid. Let's come over. Let's take a look at the stats. We'll kind of see where we're at. Matt Ryan led the NFL in passing, 4,784 yards. 4th defensive yards allowed, 53.94. Chuba Hubbard, we're not even going to look at that. We scored 414 points. That was 12th in the NFL. Julio almost 1,200 yards. 5th in points allowed. Our defense really, really stepped up this year, man. I'm very, very happy with how they played. That was the group that I was most excited about coming into year number 2 here, and they did not disappoint. 30 tutties, 9 picks for Matt Ryan. What a great year. I don't think that's going to be MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. That's solid. Darius Guice had 10 touchdowns. Chuba Hubbard had 8 with still an abysmal yards per carry. Darius Guice definitely the better running back, but we need to play Chuba Hubbard. Russell Gage almost came in with 1,000. Ridley almost came in with 1,000. Julio almost 1,200 yards. Hayden Hurst almost got up to 1,000. Solid year for our wide receiving core. I would like to see Ridley have been over 1,000. A little more touchdowns, but you cannot argue with that performance, man. Solid stuff. Deion Jones, incredible year. 129 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 picks. A.J. Terrell had 2 picks and 114 tackles at the cornerback slot on a good defense. That's incredible. And on a bad defense, That's not very good, right? That means people are getting torched left and right, and he's having to make a bunch of tackles. But on a good defense, not allowing a lot of points, not allowing a lot of yards, 114 tackles from your corner. How's that guy not got star development, man? Foye, 91 tackles, 1.5 sacks. Keanu Neal, 85 tackles. Solid stuff there. We didn't generate a whole lot of pressure. Dante Fowler did get 8 sacks. Joseph Osai in his rookie season got 6 sacks. Gray Jarrett coming in with 3. You'd like to see a little more production out of him, but he's still obviously holding down the defense if we're giving up as little amount of points as we are. Caleb Farley ended up with 2 picks. That's pretty solid. Nothing else really stands out there. Forced fumbles. We still, Joe Jones still having the only one. Sounds like the dude should be in UFC. I think every other guy's last name in UFC is Jones, and his first name is John. Nah, that's just one guy. I don't really watch UFC. Elliott Fry, 15 for 18, 83%. He made all 49 of his extra points. Good decision there. Good decision. Sterling Hoffrichter almost averaging 50 yards a punt and 45 at his net. Good stuff there. Good second year from him. Okay. Did anybody on our team win any awards? Let's take a look and see that. Deshaun wins MVP. Fair enough. Offensive Player of the Year, Nick Foles. Russell Wilson. Matt Ryan at 4. Defensive Player of the Year, Roquan Smith. Dion down there at number 8. Offensive Rookie, Trevor Lawrence. Makes sense. Chuba Hubbard, just because of sheer touches, is all I can imagine. Joseph Osai coming in at number 3 there. Caleb Farley coming in at number 5. Paris Ward down there as well. Jalen Waddle at number 10. They must not have had anybody else they could have put there. Best quarterback was Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan somehow at 6, even though he finished 4th in Offensive Player of the Year. I don't really understand that. Yeah, no way Chuba Hubbard shows up there. Julio was the second best wide receiver. Nobody else there. Best O-lineman. We actually might have. Nope, we don't. Best defensive lineman. Dante Fowler in there at 7, which is kind of surprising. Eric Kendricks won best linebacker, even though Roquan Smith won Defensive Player of the Year. I don't understand it. Best DB, Dante Jackson. And we don't have anybody in there. Best kicker, Elliott Fry actually on the team, and he is down to 7th overall. Okay, well, we didn't have anybody, but we had a better season. It's not about individual statistics. It's about the team stats, right? That's what it's all about. Okay. Let's go ahead, man. Let's see if we can get a victory. Move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. Come on. Come on. Let's beat Tampa Bay. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. Tampa Bay's already beaten us twice. Let's get it. And we win. Let's go. 31-24. We move on to the divisional playoffs where we are facing the 14-2 Dallas Cowboys that beat us 26-21. First time they saw us. Obviously a tight game. We're going to go ahead and get these upgrades in here. Going to go ahead. I don't know why I clicked on Agile, because I saw Scheme Fit and I saw purple and I said, yeah, let me go do that. Going to go ahead and upgrade Kendall Sheffield. He's up to a 77 overall, man. That's I think he started out the year at a 74. Still at normal development. Hopefully that can go up, but good year. Do we know what Justin Fields is yet? Still hidden. I hope that doesn't mess anything up over the offseason, right? He goes to like normal development or something dumb like that. Paris Ford will go ahead and get his upgrade in. Upgrade his zone coverage trait. And +3 in awareness. You like to see that. And finally, Chuba Hubbard will go ahead and upgrade him. Elusive back, right? So he's a 79 overall. Okay. All right. We're not going to look at the stats from that first game. No need to. Let's go ahead and let the CPU handle the rest of these upgrades here. We got to get this W, man. We need to move to the conference championship. NFC conference championship on the line here as the Atlanta Falcons go into Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. They beat us once. Can they beat us twice? Let's get it. Bummer. 28-24. Another close game. Oh, man. Well, in the 2021 season, us making it to the divisional round of the playoffs is a definite upgrade. And you got to hope that third season is we're going to build off of this season going into that third season, man. I'm happy. I'm happy with the way this season turned out. You would have liked to get into the conference championship. You always want to go to the Super Bowl. We would have liked to come out with, as many victories as possible, but we've got a lot of stuff that we can build on here. But first and foremost, man, we've got to re-sign here in the offseason Calvin Ridley, and hopefully we can re-sign Foye Oluokun as well. That's going to be top priority, man. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward when we can go ahead and sign some of those players. Okay, this is the hard part of the rebuilds. Take a look at who we have to re-sign. We have to re-sign Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, which is probably the least difficult decision, Foye Oluokun, and Russell Gage. Two of our top wide receivers, which we need to bring back because we've got an aging receiver in Julio Jones. And then we have a fourth wide receiver in Jalen Waddle, who, if I bring back Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage, we're set. We're good to go. But I need to bring back Foye Oluokun as well. Dude's played phenomenal. He's got 90 speed at linebacker. I got to prioritize Ridley first, though. We did release a couple players to kind of help out with our cap situation, but we're still strapped for cash. So we're going to make him this offer. 4 years, $9.6 million. Let's hope he accepts. He does. That's good. I think I'm going to have to move on from Hayden Hurst, unfortunately. I mean, the dude's had a phenomenal year, 2 years with us. But we just can't do it, unfortunately. So we are going to see if we can't bring back Russell Gage. That has got to be the thing we prioritize second. The player. We got him. And now Foye Oluokun. I don't think he wants 29.2 over 4 years. All right, I'm going to go back to our roster. I'm going to see if there's anything that we can do before we just write this off completely. I really want to bring him back. Okay, so this wasn't exactly the easiest decision because apparently Dante Fowler got superstar development trait, a superstar development trait upgrade. So he has superstar development. But the dude, I could save 15 mil by cutting him. This was the last year of his contract. We went ahead and cut him. I'm going to be able to draft, hopefully, someone that can replace him in the draft. I doubt I'm going to be able to sign anybody, but I believe I'm going to be able to bring back Foye Oluokun. Yep. Do we tag him? $15 million is the franchise tag. I would love. Yeah, I'm tagging you, Foye. I'm tagging you. You're tagged. You're getting the franchise tag. You're coming back. You're playing another season with us. We're going to try to sign you to a long-term contract in the offseason, right? That's just what we're doing. Some of these other players, though, I don't think I'm going to be able to re-sign. Deidrin Sanat, I don't think so. Olamide Zacchaeus, no. Christian Blake, no. Edmund Robinson, 59 overall. He was like 62 or 63. Yeah, no. Okay, well, we're going to have to get some veteran minimum guys in here just to hopefully compete, hopefully put a roster out. Let's go ahead and advance. So Hayden Hurst, we can't bring him back. It's just not in the cards. There's no way that we can bring him back. We're going to advance here to the first week of free agency. And we're going to come down here and actually, I'm going to see if we can shop. It's time. It's time to shop Matt Ryan. It might even be time to shop Julio Jones, but it's definitely time to shop Matt Ryan because the dude is down, as he always is, to a 74 overall. He has a 41.7 mil cap hit. What does anybody, and I mean anybody, because I'm not discriminating here, what are the Bears? What will they take? What will they give me? A 5th round pick? Very unlikely. This would put them over the salary cap. Of course it would. I don't know who wouldn't be put over the salary cap. The Bengals, but they don't need him. The Bills, they don't need him either. The Broncos, they could potentially use him. A 7th round pick? Am I underselling this? Maybe I undersold it, but I don't care. That frees up a ton of cap room, right? 7th round pick for Matt Ryan. He's a 74 overall. I'm fine with it, right? I am fine with it. We're under the cap now, 3.45 mil. Probably not going to be able to bring anybody in, but let's just take a look to see who's here. Stephon Gilmore at 31. Jair Alexander. We might need to actually... we're going to actually sim to week 4 of free agency and see who's here then, see who nobody's targeted, and then see if we can bring in anybody. Okay, before we do that, we've got to pick up a 5th-year option on Kliss Renstrom. Yeah, we're going to pick up Kliss Renstrom's 5th-year option. Don't have any other options at right guard, and he's actually developing pretty well. Do you want to go ahead and pick up his 5th-year option? Yes, I do. And I think that's the only guy we need to decide on as far as the 5th-year option. No? One more? Oh, Caleb McGarry, that's right. No, we're not going to pick up his 5th-year option. He's still just sitting at the star development. I mean, the normal development. He's not at star. No real point in doing that. Let's go ahead and advance one more week to the 4th week. Let's see who's here. Let's see who hasn't been target. And, yeah, we can't do that because I'm a dummy. I don't know. We weren't going to be able to sign anybody anyway. So, I advanced 1 week too far. But, nonetheless, if someone's there after all this is said and done, we'll check and see. We got 350 scouting points still. We're going to go ahead and use that, and then we're going to go to the draft, and we're going to improve our team in the draft, which is where we can get a lot better for sure. All right, it's been done. Not only has Matt Ryan been traded for a 7th-round pick, Julio Jones is now traded as well. We sent him to the New England Patriots. We know they need a wide receiver. They are starved for talent on that side of the ball. And a 5th-round pick for their first overall pick at pick number 19. So we're sitting at pick number 26, and now we have the 19th overall pick. Maybe we look to package those picks to move on up to get a player that we like. There is a solid defensive end that I don't feel is going to fall all the way down, so we may look to kind of trade up to see about drafting that player, but we had to do it. We got to get Jalen Waddle in. We've got to see what he's got. We've already got Russell Gage and Calvin Ridley now signed to long-term deals, so we're set at the wide receiver position. We needed to go ahead and get something for Julio. I hate to see him go. He's the best receiver in our franchise, but we're able to get some value back for him. Okay, so it is draft time. We had a solid year 1 draft. Let's hope we can have a solid year 2 draft. This is the part of the rebuild that makes me the most nervous, man. I am super nervous for this. I don't want to make a bad decision. We're picking at 19, then we're picking at 26. Let's take a look at our draft board. There's 3 defensive ends that are on our draft board that look really, really good. Moses Best, he did not go to the combine. Cornell Blades, 7.4 compound. What am I saying? Combine, and then combine grade. Sterling Beasley, 7.2. So 3 pretty solid D ends. These 2 obviously are the class right here. Now, I'm just going to see how this shakes out, right? I'm going to see... As soon as I see one of those defensive ends get taken, I might want to pull the trigger and try and trade up here. So let's go ahead. Let's skip to the next pick. Watch this guy get taken first overall. Cornell Blades gets taken first overall. Oh, man. All right. So, I tell you what, brother. I tell you what. We might want to try to move up here. We might want to try to move up here to take Moses Best. I mean, this dude... He looks solid. A- hit power, A- tackle, A- power moves. Those are pretty solid top skills. I like it a lot. This Kerry Whiteside looks pretty solid, as does Keelan Dent, who could potentially slide down and play in. He's a powerful right outside linebacker. 28 reps on the bench press. Very similar to Moses Best here. Could we get him a little farther down? We may be able to. Kerry Whiteside looks pretty solid as well. More of a speed rusher. We've got a decision to make, man. What do we want to do? Let's see what Arizona does. They take Will Perkins, left outside linebacker. Let's see what Detroit does. Kevin Contreras, wide receiver. Okay. Moses Best. There he goes to the Bengals. All right. He was a 75 overall. Cornell Blades was clearly the best player in this draft. So Sterling Beasley is still here, who's more of a speed rusher, but actually he's a powerful guy too. 29 reps on the bench press. But he's profiled as a speed rusher. You know what? I think we're just going to hold pat here. I'm going to hold pat. Let's fast forward. Let's just see. We're going to skip ahead. We're going to advance to our pick here at 19. And we're just going to see what's available. We're going to see what's available based on our draft board here. Sterling Beasley's still there. Keelan Dent. Keelan Dent was the guy that I was kind of eyeing all along. 6'5", 264. He could definitely slide down, play that left end spot that's been now vacated by us having to cut Dante Fowler. Decently fast. 4.68 in the 40. Very strong. 28 reps. The defensive end, forget his name already. Moses Best, I believe. What did he have? 29 reps, or the other linebacker. We're gonna draft him here, and he has normal development. It was a good pick. He's ranked 5. We took him at 19. He's a 76 overall. The development trait is a bit of a downer, but nonetheless, this looks like a pretty solid player, a pretty solid pick here at 19 overall. 76 overall right here. 83 hit power, 83 speed. Pretty solid for defensive end. 89 excel. He's got 83 power moves and 77 finesse moves. So he looks like he's an overall pretty well-rounded defensive end for us. It's going to fit in nicely. We'll see if his overall goes up or down if we switch him to end. But we are going to take a look at our draft board here. What are we going to look to target next? That is going to be the question. So we don't need a linebacker right now, and there are some good ones out here. We might look to target this tight end right here. I mean, this dude is absolutely, he's a monster at tight end. When you take a look at some of his combine grades and just his top skills there. I mean, just an absolute monster who could come in and replace Hayden Hurst right away. I think that's who we're going to look to take. Let's go ahead and skip. Okay, they take a 65 overall left tackle. That's phenomenal. Watch this tight end be terrible. There's no way, though. There's literally no way. This dude is a beast. An absolute beast. With normal development. Ugh, we cannot take a 43. I don't think he's going to be having that number. 14th in true value. We draft him at 26, so it's a good draft pick, right? 73 overall. He's got normal development, which is a bit of a downer, right? But he's got 87 speed. So hopefully we can get him. I mean, we upgraded Hayden Hurst from star development to superstar development, so hopefully we can get him up there as well. But we're going to go ahead. We're just going to advance to the next user pick. We're going to be in the second round, picking 26th in the second round, and possibly going to look to go O-line here. Let's see what's available on the offensive line. Let's take a look at our draft board. What do we got here? Nick Campbell at middle linebacker is still there. Maybe we can't ignore that, right? I mean, just look at this dude. He's fast. He's shifty. He's decently strong. I'm not sold on Josh Forbes here at right tackle. There's a fast end that we could take. You know what? I'm going to take Nick Campbell here. He's a scheme fit. We can slide Michael Walker. I mean, he's going to maybe potentially end up being our fourth linebacker. This dude just looks too good to pass up, man. Just looks too good to pass up. Normal development, 26th in true value. We drafted him at 58. He's only a 70 overall, so he's not going to threaten Michael Walker. You'd like that development trait to be better. We've hit value at every single pick so far. This has been a good draft. We're just not drafting those star players, unfortunately. So, I mean, unless we moved all the way up to 1 overall, which I don't think we'd have been able to, I think we've had we've had about as good a draft as we possibly could have, right? Let's go ahead and advance. We're going to pick third. We're going to pick in the third round. We're going to pick 26th in the third round. Let's just see what talent is here. Maybe we look to go O-line here. We're going to make our selection. Hopefully there's an O-lineman that's here that we can take. Maybe this is a diamond in the rough right here. Lewis Riles. Let's go ahead and draft him. 68 overall. Another good pick. 74th in true value. We draft him at 90. Maybe he can develop. So we're just not hitting those star players, but we are getting value. We're going to go ahead and advance to our next pick. We're picking in the 4th round. Probably gonna let the CPU do everything after that. We're going to go ahead and make our selection. If that middle linebacker is still there, we're definitely going to take him. And he's not. Yeah, that was not him. Although that guy doesn't look too bad. James Tuck, though, we might look to take this guy here. A- hit power, B+ pursuit, B+ tackle. Top 3 skills, power rusher, 6'5", 273. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and take James Tuck right here and draft him. Normal development, another good pick, 77th in true value. This is just not a good class, it doesn't look like. He's a 68 overall. So, I mean, you'd like a 78, overall talent to be a little higher overall, right? So this just doesn't look like it was that great of a class. Let's go ahead and skip, not to the next pick, to the next user pick. So this was probably I'm very nervous when it comes to drafting, especially with players that I don't know. And this was a solid draft. Every single pick we had value of, right? We didn't reach on anything. We just had everybody was normal development. I just don't think this was that good of a class. Let's see, is there anybody that was on our draft board that's still left? If they are, we'll take them. If they're not, we were not going to worry about it. So Johnny Walton and Akeem Craver. So who out of these two looks the best? I'd say Johnny Walton. Let's go ahead and draft him. Another good value, right? 65 overall, though. He's ranked 157. We drafted him at 186. It is what it is, right? I mean, we can't help a bad class. So let's go ahead and let's just advance to the end of the draft. And we're going to pick it up. We'll go into the team screen. We're going to show you what the team looks like heading into year number 3, where year number 3 is where we're going to look to take home a Super Bowl. I can definitely tell you that. So here is the team going into year 3. Justin Fields, Jalen Waddle. We had no idea based off their playing time what their superstar development trait would be. Justin Fields had superstar. Jalen Waddle had superstar X Factor, man. What a draft year 1's draft turned out to be. Let's take a look at Justin Fields' abilities. This is going to be the year we switch. Matt Ryan's gone. Julio Jones is gone. Justin Fields and Jalen Waddle are going to have to take over. He's got quick draw as his ability, which is pretty good. Passers with this ability have faster passing animations when they are throwing under pressure. So as you can see, that ability is going to come into play. That's a pretty solid ability for a quarterback. This dude's got 91 throw power. We got to get his accuracy up. That's something that we're going to be looking to upgrade as the season goes on. Man's got number 7. Couldn't be more fitting coming in. Dude's going to absolutely destroy. I can tell you that. I'm super excited about Justin Fields. Jalen Waddle, superstar X Factor. Even though he got like 10 catches last year, right? Somehow, man, hey, I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to go out and hopefully he's going to ball for us. He's got yak 'em up, and then his ability is evasive. So ball carriers with this ability have steerable juke and spin animations. That sounds pretty good. Once he gets the ball in his hands, that sounds pretty darn solid. And then yak 'em up goes pretty well with that as well. So pretty excited about the skilled positions. Calvin Ridley still at star. Russell Gage obviously has superstar. Chuba Hubbard, we're going to need a better year from him, although he does have superstar development, so that's pretty solid. The offensive line is coming together, albeit very slowly. They don't have the best development trait upgrades. Matt Hennessy's up to a 72. Trey Smith, man, I have got a lot of expectations for this guy. This is his second year, and he's a 77 overall. If he can get that development trait upgrade, he could potentially slide into that 80 overall range. Jake Matthews, he falls between 79 and 80 to 81 overall each year. He's still our left tackle. Caleb McGarry for right now is still our right tackle, but remember, we did not pick up his fifth-year player option. Chris Lindstrom taking that next step. He got +4 overall from last year, so that's pretty solid. And then Matt Hennessy, obviously. So Dominic Darby, I believe is his name. This is the tight end that we drafted, 73 overall. I've got high hopes for him. I think he's going to make our offense. He's going to take that receiving core, and we're not going to see a huge drop-off from losing Hayden Hurst. Real quick, Michael Walker has superstar development. Have no idea how he got it, but he got it in the offseason. So let's go ahead. We know we got to take a look at his ability. It's going to be another 10 overalls before he gets another ability, but he's got a good one. Inside stuff. Defenders with this ability use faster run shed moves for a better chance at shedding blocks against inside zone play. So whenever a team runs an inside zone running play, he is going to get a block shed animation that is going to dominate whatever tackle, whatever guard that is coming his way. So that's solid, and now he has that superstar development where he's going to get XP a lot faster and upgrade a lot better. Deion Jones, we already knew he had superstar. Foye Oluokun is still at star. Paris Ford's at star. Caleb Farley has superstar. We knew that. Joseph Osai, Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson rounding out the defensive line is Keelan Dent. So we switched him from right outside linebacker to left end. He's going to shore up that end position to where losing Dante Fowler, and he might even be a step up from Dante Fowler. We'll have to see how he plays, but I'm looking to him to get that development upgrade trait in this next season. I think he's going to be a solid player. Went from a 76 overall to a 78 overall, our first round pick number 19. You can't get much better than that. AJ Terrell's up to a 76. Kendall Sheffield's up to a 77. You like to see that. Keanu Neal is that strong safety. He's up to an 87 overall, has that superstar development. Ryan Neal's backing him up. You got the Neal brothers holding down strong safety there. Special teams, Sterling Hofrichter, Elliott Fry. We've got TJ Hall, I believe is his name, as our kick returner. I don't want to put Jalen Waddle out there. Don't want to get him tired going into an offensive possession. Kendall Sheffield's our slot corner. Here is our rush left end, right end, D tackles, right? Keelan Dent, Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson, Joseph Osai. Same old stuff there. Deion Jones, a sub linebacker. Russell Gage is going to be in the slot, and then Chuba Hubbard's our third down and power running back. So that's going to be the team heading into year number 3, where we're going to look to take that next step, get to the conference championship, get to the Super Bowl, and win a Super Bowl. Team's coming together. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you're enjoying the team and enjoying the series. If you are, leave a like rating. It helps me out a lot. And if you enjoy the content and would like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. I'm jslayyfitness. I'm signing out today. I'll catch you all on my next video.